Good morning, everyone. I had to get up and run in a hurry because one of your comments totally made my day. And this was Daniel, who says, Jazz hands. I remember there was one day in which I was listening to the intro music, and there was a kick in the music in which I went, whoop. And Daniel said, jazz hands. So now every time that happens, I do jazz hands for Daniel. Of course, Daniel, as you know, is a great friend of the cluster and a great benefactor. He has gifted Coffee and Headlines with microphones and equipment and a special modem so that we have better broadcasts. And this Christmas, Daniel visited me, and he was so very kind to gift Coffee and Headlines a brand new field recorder. This is to record high quality audio when you are out and about. And it's a great contribution because my field recorder, the one that I usually use, died after more than 20 years of great service. So I am very, very grateful to Daniel, and very, very grateful to anyone that has gifted Coffee and Headlines with equipment or resources. So this is a good thing. Today, I'm just so excited because I have very little news, but I have great cultural context to share with you. But before we get started, this is Coffee and Headlines, a place where we gather to enjoy and share news from our city, state, and country, and look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions, and combine all this information so that we can all seriously, Dan. Let's put that one aside already. Going to the closed Costco after Coffee and Headlines. This is going to chase me for weeks. I love it. Anyhow, we share good stuff so that we can have a more connected life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. As always, I welcome everybody watching, and particularly those of you that are watching live for the first time. If that is your case, write the word new in your comment and we'll give you a nice little welcome. We enjoy doing that. And of course, if you have a comment to share, like Gary, he added a capital letter Q at the beginning of his comment. Did you see that former President Vicente Fox was in town shopping at Costco? Good thing he knew the closure was a prank. Yes, I did notice that there were photographs of former President Vicente Fox shopping at Costco. I would not have wanted to say hello to him because he's behaving badly as a politician. He's even got his Twitter or X account shut down temporarily for saying bad things about other people. But I digress. We're not going to worry too much about that. We're going to get started with the news so that we can get to the cultural stuff that I want to share with you. Today, we're going to talk about Cabañuelas. We're going to talk about Epiphany. And I'm not talking about Epiphany when a bright light bulb happens over here. Let me not get ahead of myself, and let's just get started with this one. Yesterday, I was heading into town, into Emiliano Zapata. Of course, we live in town, but when I say into town, I was heading into the tourist area to run some errands, and I spotted a handful of new garbage collection trucks parked at the municipal stadium. This was yesterday afternoon, and this morning, I learned that these will be presented by Mayor Michel to the trash collection department sometime today. And of course, this is great news because it improves our trash collection service here in Puerto Vallarta. And also at the municipal stadium, I noticed last week that the city began improving the outdoor gym located there, as the equipment that was previously used has been removed. This morning, I am reading more information about the overhaul. It has not been improved in over 15 years, and the city is investing over 200,000 pesos to improve this free outdoor gym that a lot of locals frequent. And I may say, if I may say, it's also a great source of eye candy. It is. It is. You walk by, you see the people, the boys, the girls doing their thing there, and it's nice to look at. Anyhow, those are the news that I have for now. Let us switch over to our weather forecast just to see what's going on out there. Now, I don't want snarky weather to get jealous because we're going to talk about Cabañuelas right after that. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Right now, it is sunny. You're welcome, says our snarky weather friend. It is 22 degrees out there. Humidity is low at 54%. And our weather forecast for today says that we're going to have clear skies throughout the day, a high of 26 and a low of 16. Tomorrow, we can expect mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon. So tomorrow will be the 4th, and the 4th month of the year is April. Hold on to that notion for a second. Today is that tomorrow the high temperature will be 26 and the low temperature will be 17. And then Friday, a few rain showers, a chance of rain of 50%, a high of 26 and a low of 19. So, according to our snarky weather, we can expect rain on Thursday or Friday. These are the 4th and 5th days of the month. So what does that have to do with the weather later on in the year? Well, let's talk about Cabañuelas for a second. You may find yourself talking to a taxi driver or a Mexican national these days, and if it starts to rain, the word Cabañuelas may be mentioned. But if you ask what Cabañuelas are, the person may not be able to give you a precise answer. So let us break down and unpack Cabañuelas for a second. Cabañuelas is a series of traditional non-scientific prediction models that have been used for hundreds of years in Mexico and the rest of Latin America, and they begin in January. This series of methods or models were introduced to the continent by the Spanish conquistadors, and since then, many different variants of the models are followed today. So just a second ago, we realized that it's going to rain on Thursday and Friday. So what does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, farmers and traditionalists observe the weather on the first 12 days of the month, and then each day of the month corresponds to the month of the year. So whatever weather you experience on those first 12 days of the month is what you can expect to experience for the rest of the year. So we said that we might get rain on the 4th and on the 5th. If Cabañuelas are accurate, this means that April and May will be rainy months, and so forth and so on. Each day of the first 12 days of January corresponding to the first 12, the 12 months of the year in chronological order. And then what happens on the 13th? Well, on the 13th, the order is reversed, and the 13th of January represents December, the 14th of January represents November, and so forth and so on until you get to the 24th of January, which represents the month of January. So, of course, by the time you're on January 24th, you don't really need a weather forecast for January because the month is already over. So I don't know how Cabañuelas apply there, but this is the traditional method of predicting weather for the year that is used by farmers. Not all farmers, but some still use them. And I certainly hope that our snarky weatherman is not going to get jealous because we are looking at other methods. We are going to, of course, continue to use snarky weather every single day. But again, the term Cabañuelas may come up in conversation. And again, it's this beautiful little word, Cabañuelas. Another word that you may want to consider is Epiphany. And an epiphany, we know, is an experience of a sudden and striking realization, like a light bulb went on over your head. But Epiphany, in the Christian tradition, is a feast day commemorating the visit of the Magi, or three wise men to the Christ child. And it is celebrated on January 6th. Now, the visit of the three wise men, or Reyes Magos, magician kings, as they are known in Spanish, has a major significance in Mexico for two reasons. Since the Magi, I think it's Magi. Since the three wise men show up to meet the Christ child bearing gifts, in Mexico it is considered like a little Christmas. So depending on your upbringing, you may get, children may get presents from Santa Claus on December the 25th, or presents from the three wise men on January 6th, or both. I was actually lucky to get presents as a child on both days. But I digress for a second. The second tradition that is related to Epiphany is that of the Rosca de Reyes, or three wise men bread. This one is difficult to miss as all bakeries in town and supermarkets are already selling them. And of course, three wise men bread, or Rosca de Reyes, is a delicious sweet treat. Again, a tradition brought to Mexico from Spain. The original roscas were round, and they represented the crowns worn by the three wise men, and they are adorned with crystallized fruit, which symbolizes the jewels that were in the crowns. So what is the tradition about? Well, we gather on January 6th in the morning to enjoy a slice of bread with some Mexican-style hot chocolate, but there is a catch. You have to chew very carefully. You see, bakers will add one or several plastic figurines of the Christ child in the batter prior to baking the bread. So as you slice it, if you stumble upon one of these figurines, or even worse, if you happen to chew on one, and you got to watch your dentures there, you are expected to treat everyone present to tamales on Dia de la Candelaria, or Candlemas Day, which takes place on February the 2nd. So that is the tradition. Of course, I was coming home yesterday and I had to make a stop at Soriana, where I spotted the roscas already available for purchase. Most places sell the very large ones, but some bakeries also sell smaller ones. Many folks out there like the ones offered by Costco. And this year, I am paying close attention to the roscas sold at Pavlova, which is a boutique bakery not far from my home. Of course, in boutique bakeries like Pavlova, you can expect like the highest quality of baking, but you may also want to call ahead and reserve your rosca ahead of time. Now, I looked at their Facebook page, and what they say is that a rosca from Pavlova will set you back some 540 pesos. It is good for 10 to 12 people. It can only be reserved to be picked up for the same day, and you need to call ahead for this, or you can also purchase a personal slice for your own. So this is all about Rosca de Reyes, which is a lot of fun. And I am glancing at some of your comments, and I forgot to set up some photos. Somebody mentioned that there are other kinds of roscas being, oh, that was Brian, who said Domino's is selling a Rosca de Reyes pizza. Well, I've had intentions of putting together other types of rosca. Like there are taco places that sell taco platters in shape of a rosca, and people are trying to make a buck out there, and it is allowed. Anyhow, this is the whole thing about the Rosca de Reyes. It is yummy bread. So you want to get in on one of these parties, but be very careful when you chew. You don't want to break your dentures by chewing with too much enthusiasm. Moving right along, as I told you, I was in town running errands. What was I doing in Emiliano Zapata? Well, my first stop was at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, where I had to pick up some mula, some money from my last presentation, and I was so happy to see that their bulletin board at the reception area has a lot of other things that are going on at the Joint right now. There's a screenwriting workshop. There are figure drawing classes. There is another air fryer class coming up, two of them, one that features Super Bowl snacks and the other one features a romantic joint. The air fryer classes have been very successful at the Joint Co-working Hotel. And if you want to find out more about these classes, the best thing to do is to follow the Joint on Facebook, and I will share their Facebook page with you in the show notes as usual. Then I found myself walking past Cassandra Shaw's jewelry shop, and Cassandra is not only a dear friend of mine, she is, I am the proud owner of two of her pieces. She did a portrait of Luna, and I have one of her roosters hanging from my wall. But more importantly, Cassandra and her sister Candace are two of the most awesome English-speaking locals you could meet. Cassandra is a jewelry designer. She's an artist. She paints her own canvases. And she has this beautiful shop in Basilio Vadillo where you can find excellent jewelry for men and women. And, she and Candace are constantly involved in all kinds of nonprofit and charitable pursuits. And they're just great people to know. And one thing that Cassandra is really awesome about is she's a great patron of the arts. She has this huge bulletin board made with corks. I know that Cassandra likes to drink wine because I've had wine with Cassandra many times. And so she has this amazing bulletin board where you can get overwhelmed with all the different options available for live entertainment in the neighborhood. And look at all those paintings that she does of pets and whatnot. And of course, my last stop was at Contempo, the gallery, because I wanted to do a walk around of their latest exhibition. And this is the view of Basilio Vadillo from the rooftop at Contempo. I will share with you my walk around tomorrow. I still have to edit it, but it was a great time in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. And for this cue that is coming from Daniel, what's the name of Cassandra's shop? It's called Cassandra's shop, Cassandra Jewelry. That's what it is called. And I'll be so very happy to share this in the show notes so that you get to know her. And a visit to Cassandra Shaw Jewelry is definitely dangerous. As long as we're looking at your comments, let us switch over to chit chat mode and let us see what we have for today. Oh, it's already 10:50, which makes me very happy. I was wondering if I would have enough to share with you today, and I'm glad that I do. I am also seeing that there are 75 people watching live. What a pleasure. Thank you so very much for following Coffee and Headlines. I see a lot of good mornings. which is awesome. Uh-oh. Which Costco closing where am I gonna buy my baby shower stuff? Stop it, friend. I told you, Luisa totally had me when she said that she was expecting a baby. That was so funny. And I totally fell for it. I was like, when can I tell our friends? Because we have mutual friends. Purim pam pum pim. Let's see. Angelica is back in the neighborhood. Well, she's back in Punta Perula. Angelica, it's a beautiful home south of Puerto Vallarta in Punta Perula. I was fortunate enough to visit it one day when I was driving out and about with a friend. Let's see. Purim pum pum pam. We talked about Vicente Fox. Yes, we did. Gina is going to open her new restaurant at the closed Costco. Don't get me started, friend. I'm already jotting down ideas for Dia de los Inocentes in December. Let's see. Ay. Bill is checking in from Nova Scotia. Hello, Bill. I hope you come home safe and sound. We talked about Domino's selling a Rosca de Reyes. And there's a queue. Is it just a case of great tummies? Oh, no, it's not a queue. Or is it just a case of great tummies? I thought that was a queue. Never mind. But Gary says Pavlova is amazing. If you haven't had baked goods from Pasteleria Pavlova, you're missing out on one of Puerto Vallarta's finest bakeries. And on Fridays, they sell cake by the slice. Well, they always have slices of this, that, and the other. But all the different varieties of cakes that they have them available by the slice on Friday. It's a dangerous but wonderful treat. Let's see. What's the name of... we talked about that. Is there a cluster gathering coming up? Would love to have it in late February. We're on countdown. Good for you, Paula. We haven't decided on a date, but we'll definitely keep that in mind. And here's Carla, our dear friend Carla from the Mushi, the Ruta Mushi, the mobile Puerto Vallarta History Museum. I'm sure that there's got to be a new exhibition being installed sometime soon because Ruta Mushi changes their exhibitions on a monthly basis. I'm eager to find out what's coming up next. And of course, we try to keep track as to where you can board the Ruta Mushi bus. Well, you don't board it to go places. It stands still in random locations throughout the city, and you board it. You can experience a little bit of history of the city, and it is free, but you are highly encouraged to make a contribution to this wonderful nonprofit. Let's see. Ooh, look at this. There's Candace. Hi, friend. I was so happy to see your sister yesterday. I had not seen her in forever, and I haven't seen you in forever. It is always a pleasure to connect with you guys. You guys are just wonderful friends, and you are wonderful English-speaking locals. I'm repeating myself, so I'll stop. There is another cue from Dale. They have Pavlova cakes at the cafe across from where Logan works too, by the Pinnacle Hotels. Yum, yum. Oh, I didn't know that. But Pavlova is over here in Las Aralias, I think it is called. One way or another, I will definitely add it to the show notes. When does the farting iguana arrive? She hasn't gone anywhere. Let me find her. Well, that was good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut the broadcast short. Somebody asked for the farting iguana, and I was happy to oblige. You know, as long as we're doing that, you know, let's revisit our other we're just going to revisit one of our other pets. Let's revisit. There you go. And Daniel goes, "Oh my God, what did I just watch? A farting iguana." Yes, my dear friend, you just watched a farting iguana on Coffee and Headlines. Everybody farts. We just discussed this a few days ago. Anyhow, this is the end of our broadcast. What a pleasure to connect with you today. Thank you very much for joining Coffee and Headlines. Thank you for watching later on in the day. If you're watching on YouTube, just remember to like and subscribe because it helps us a great deal in reaching out more people with our messages. Oh my God. And Sean says, "I cannot unsee that now. A farting iguana." You're welcome. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you consider breaking your diet resolutions with a nice slice of Rosca de Reyes. Again, you can enjoy it on the 6th, or you can just go out and kill the craving today because they're starting to sell them everywhere. And that's it. Have a great day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Oh, and tomorrow, you guys requested connections and links from Guadalajara. I am putting that together. We'll have that tomorrow along with our Galeria Contempo walk around. Have a good day.